The Research and Analysis Wing, RAW. Just the name evokes images of spies, secrets, and daring missions. Created in 1968, RAW is India's external intelligence agency. Much of what they do is shrouded in secrecy. They are the silent guardians, protecting India's interests. RAW's existence isn't flaunted, their identities are closely guarded secrets. This secrecy is essential to their success. RAW has played a pivotal role in shaping India's destiny. The line of control in Kashmir is a scar on the map, a constant reminder of the unresolved conflict between India and Pakistan. Manned by soldiers from both sides, it is a place of constant tension, where even a small spark can ignite a firestorm. On that fateful day in 2011, the soldiers of the 2-8 Gorkha Rifles were on a routine patrol near the line of control in the Kupwara sector. The rugged terrain was familiar, the air thin and cold. Unaware they were walking into a carefully laid trap. Suddenly, a group of Pakistani soldiers, part of the elite Border Action Team, ambushed the Indian patrol. The Border Action Team, known for its ruthlessness, is infamous for cross-border raids and often comprises both regular Pakistani army soldiers and mercenaries. What followed was a scene of unimaginable brutality. 2 Indian soldiers were killed, their bodies mutilated in a barbaric display of violence. The act sent shockwaves through the Indian army and the nation. The news of the ambush and the mutilation of the soldiers sent a chill down the spines of the nation. The public clamored for retribution, for a strong response to the heinous act. The Indian army, burning with the need to avenge their fallen comrades, began preparations for a fitting reply. It was at this juncture that RAW swung into action. Their network of informants and agents across the border started to work, gathering intel about the Border Action Team's movements, their bases, and their patterns of operation. The information gleaned was crucial, providing the Indian Army with a clear picture of the enemy and the lay of the land. The plan that began to take shape was audacious, risky, and some would say, unthinkable. If the enemy thought they could act with impunity, they were about to learn a harsh lesson. Operation Ginger, as it was christened, was to be a tit-for-tat strike, a message that India would not tolerate such acts of barbarity. It was a high-stakes gamble with the potential for both success and catastrophic failure. Section 4. Striking Back from the Shadows. Operation Ginger hinged on meticulous planning, precise execution, and surprise. The Indian Army's elite soldiers were trained for high-risk missions behind enemy lines. Under the cover of darkness, they infiltrated across the line of control, moving like phantoms, their senses on high alert. What followed was swift and brutal. The Indian soldiers stormed the post, taking the enemy by surprise. They returned to their base without any casualties. Section 5. The Aftermath and the Unanswered Questions. The success of Operation Ginger sent shockwaves through the Pakistani establishment. It was a stark reminder that India was not afraid to retaliate, to strike back with equal force. The operation, however, was shrouded in secrecy, with both the Indian Army and RAW maintaining a tight lid on the details. However, whispers of the operation started to emerge, finding their way into the media, fueling speculation and debate. Some hailed it as a fitting response to Pakistani aggression, a bold statement that India would not be bullied. Others questioned the wisdom of such covert operations, arguing that they could lead to an escalation of tensions. The official stance of both India and Pakistan remained unchanged, a denial of any involvement in cross-border raids. The truth, as is often the case in the murky world of espionage and covert warfare, remained hidden in the shadows. The questions lingered. Who authorized the operation, and what were its long-term implications? Section 6. The Long Shadow of Operation Ginger. Operation Ginger, whether acknowledged or not, stands as a testament to the silent resolve of the Indian Army and the shadowy world of RAW. It serves as a reminder that while India strives for peace, it will not shy away from defending its interests and avenging its fallen heroes. The operation also highlights the complex and often brutal realities of the conflict in Kashmir, a conflict where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, and where every action carries the risk of unintended consequences. The line of control remains a flashpoint, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. Operation Ginger, much like the world it inhabits, is a story shrouded in whispers and shadows. It is a story of daring, of retribution, and the heavy price of conflict. It is a story that underscores the vital role played by intelligence agencies like RAW, the silent guardians who operate in the shadows, protecting their nation from unseen threats. The year was 1988. A chilling wind blew through the corridors of power in Islamabad. Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence, or ISI, had conceived Operation Topak, its objective to engulf India in a maelstrom of terror and insurgency. Kashmir and Punjab were the prime targets. The ISI sought to destabilize India. They wanted to exploit internal vulnerabilities. Their aim was to establish a hegemonic grip on the region. Operation Topak was incredibly elaborate. It involved the training and infiltration of militants. Sophisticated weaponry was smuggled across the border. A network of safe houses and collaborators was established within India. The ISI aimed to fuel separatist sentiments. They wanted to incite large-scale violence. Their goal was to cripple India's economy and international standing. The stakes were incredibly high. A successful Operation Topak could have had devastating consequences. India's territorial integrity was under threat. Millions of lives hung in the balance. The very future of the region rested on a knife's edge. India's External Intelligence Agency, the Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, had gotten wind of the operation. Tasked with safeguarding India's interests, RAW sprang into action. They knew they had to act swiftly and decisively. Failure was not an option. RAW faced a formidable challenge. Operation Topak was shrouded in secrecy. The ISI had a vast network of operatives and sympathizers. Time was of the essence. RAW had to penetrate this web of intrigue. They needed to gather actionable intelligence. Undeterred, RAW's finest minds got to work. They meticulously pieced together fragments of information. They analyzed intercepted communications. They cultivated a network of informants. They were determined to unravel the ISI's sinister plot. The fate of the nation rested on their shoulders. RAW operatives infiltrated Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and other ISI training camps. They assumed false identities, risking their lives to gather intel. They sent back crucial information about the militants' identities, training, and planned infiltration routes. Human intelligence was paramount, but RAW also utilized cutting-edge technology. They intercepted and deciphered coded messages. They employed satellite imagery to monitor militant movements. Every tool at their disposal was deployed to counter the impending threat. The information gathered by RAW operatives was invaluable. It provided a clear picture of the ISI's modus operandi. It exposed their network and their sinister plans. Most importantly, it gave India the upper hand. Section 4, Triumphs in the Shadows, Neutralizing the Threats. Armed with this intelligence, RAW orchestrated a multi-pronged counter-offensive. They worked closely with Indian security forces, sharing timely intelligence. This helped to neutralize several militant groups before they could carry out their attacks. RAW's efforts led to the apprehension of several high-value targets. These captures dealt a significant blow to Operation Topak. They disrupted the flow of weapons and finances to the militants. The ISI's plans were unraveling. RAW's successes remained largely clandestine, their operations shrouded in secrecy. But their impact was undeniable. They had successfully thwarted a major threat to India's security. Section 5. Safeguarding a nation RAW's enduring legacy. RAW's success against Operation Topak was a testament to their unwavering commitment to national security. They demonstrated exceptional courage, ingenuity, and unwavering dedication. Their sacrifices saved countless lives. The operation served as a stark reminder of the persistent threats India faces. It highlighted the critical role intelligence agencies play in safeguarding national interests. RAW's legacy continues to inspire. Their actions serve as a beacon of hope in an increasingly uncertain world. The threat of terrorism may never fully disappear, but RAW's vigilance stands as a bulwark against those who seek to harm India. Their dedication ensures that India can face the future with confidence and resilience. On November 26, 2008, 10 heavily armed terrorists launched coordinated attacks across Mumbai, India. The attacks, lasting 4 days, plunged the city into chaos and fear. Targets included the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel, Oberoi Trident Hotel, Leopold Cafe, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus, and Jewish Chabad House. The attacks resulted in 166 deaths and over 300 injuries. This event shook India and exposed security vulnerabilities. The 26/11 attacks were a stark reminder of global terrorism. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, is India's primary foreign intelligence agency. It operates under the direct supervision of the Prime Minister's office. RAW is responsible for gathering foreign intelligence, counter-terrorism, counter-proliferation, and covert operations. RAW plays a critical role in safeguarding India's national interests. The agency was founded in 1968 following intelligence failures during the 1962 Sino-Indian War and the 1965 Indo-Pakistani War. RAW's primary objective is to provide actionable intelligence to policymakers, enabling them to make informed decisions on matters of national security. RAW works closely with other Indian intelligence and security agencies such as the Intelligence Bureau and the National Security Guard. RAW played a pivotal role in providing real-time intelligence during the 26/11 Mumbai attacks. The agency had been monitoring the activities of the Lashkar-e-Taiba for several months prior to the attacks. RAW had intercepted communications between the terrorists and their handlers in Pakistan. This intelligence proved crucial in identifying the perpetrators, their motives, and their modus operandi. RAW's intelligence was instrumental in guiding the NSG commandos during Operation Black Tornado. The agency provided detailed layouts of the targeted buildings, including the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel and the Oberoi Trident Hotel. This information allowed the NSG to plan their assault strategy effectively and minimize casualties. RAW's intelligence also helped identify the location of hostages, enabling the NSG to prioritize their rescue efforts. Section 4. Real-time intelligence, turning the tide. RAW's ability to provide real-time intelligence during the operation was crucial in neutralizing the terrorists. The agency intercepted communications between the terrorists holed up inside the buildings and their handlers in Pakistan. This allowed the NSG to anticipate the terrorists' moves and counter them effectively. RAW also provided technical support, including satellite imagery and communication intercepts, which aided the NSG in tracking the terrorists' movements within the buildings. One example of RAW's crucial input was during the operation at Nariman House. RAW operatives provided critical information about the building's layout and the terrorists' positions, which helped the NSG neutralize the terrorists and rescue the hostages safely. In another instance, RAW intercepted communications that revealed the terrorists' plan to set fire to the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel. This timely intelligence allowed the NSG to thwart the plan and prevent further loss of life and damage to the iconic structure. Section 5. Unsung Heroes, the impact of RAW's contribution. RAW's contribution during Operation Black Tornado often goes unnoticed as the agency operates in secrecy. However, it is undeniable that RAW's intelligence played a significant role in the successful execution of the mission. Without RAW's timely and accurate intelligence, the NSG would have faced a much more challenging and dangerous situation. The agency's contribution highlights the importance of effective intelligence gathering and analysis in combating terrorism. The 26/11 Mumbai attacks were a watershed moment in India's fight against terrorism. The attacks exposed the country's vulnerabilities but also demonstrated the resilience and resolve of its security forces. RAW's role in Operation Black Tornado showcased the agency's capabilities and its importance in safeguarding national security. Section 6. RAW, a shield against terrorism. The 26/11 Mumbai attacks underscored the need for a robust and effective intelligence apparatus. RAW, as India's primary foreign intelligence agency, plays a crucial role in identifying, assessing, and neutralizing threats to national security. The agency's success in providing actionable intelligence during Operation Black Tornado demonstrates its capabilities and its commitment to protecting India from terrorism. RAW continues to play a vital role in safeguarding India's interests in an increasingly complex and volatile world. The agency's efforts in counter-terrorism, counter-proliferation, and intelligence gathering are crucial in ensuring the safety and security of India and its citizens. RAW's commitment to protecting India from external threats makes it an indispensable asset to the nation's security apparatus. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, is India's external intelligence agency. It was created in 1968 with a mission to protect India's interests abroad. RAW gathers intelligence, conducts covert operations, and counters threats from terrorism and extremism. It plays a vital role in safeguarding India's national security. In the 1980s, India faced a significant separatist movement in the state of Punjab. This period was marked by intense political and social turmoil, as the region grappled with the demands for autonomy and independence. This movement was spearheaded by Khalistani militants, who sought to create an independent Sikh state called Khalistan. Their demands were rooted in a complex mix of historical grievances, religious identity, and political aspirations. The Khalistani militants received substantial support from Pakistan, which included arms, training, and safe havens. This external backing intensified the conflict, making it a significant national security issue for India. The support from Pakistan led to a surge in violence and unrest in Punjab. The region witnessed numerous acts of terrorism, civil unrest, and brutal clashes between militants and security forces, causing widespread fear and instability. The Indian government faced a major challenge. It had to protect its territorial integrity and restore peace in Punjab. This involved a combination of military action, political negotiations, and efforts to address the underlying socio-economic issues that fueled the separatist movement. In response to the escalating Khalistani threat, RAW, India's premier intelligence agency, launched the covert Operation Rayhan. This was a top-secret operation initiated in the early 1980s, specifically aimed at neutralizing the growing Khalistani insurgency that threatened India's stability. Operation Rayhan focused on penetrating Pakistan's Punjab province, which had become a significant hub for Khalistani militant activity. The region was rife with insurgent camps and training facilities. RAW agents were meticulously tasked with gathering crucial intelligence on the militants, identifying their leaders, and understanding their operational networks. They worked tirelessly to uncover the militants' plans, strategies, and the intricate web of their support networks, both local and international. The operation was highly sensitive and fraught with danger, requiring immense courage, skill, and unwavering dedication from the RAW agents involved. Their efforts were instrumental in curbing the insurgency and restoring peace in the region. Section 4. Infiltrating Pakistan, a high-stakes gamble. This mission was one of the most perilous undertakings in the history of intelligence operations. Infiltrating Pakistan's Punjab region was extremely dangerous. The agents had to navigate through a labyrinth of narrow alleyways and crowded marketplaces, where any misstep could lead to their discovery. RAW agents had to assume new identities. They meticulously crafted their disguises and forged identification papers to blend seamlessly into the local environment. They had to blend into the local population. This meant adopting local customs, learning the dialect, and even changing their mannerisms to avoid suspicion. These agents faced the constant threat of exposure and capture. Every glance over their shoulder, every shadowy figure in the distance could be a potential threat. The consequences of capture were severe. Interrogation, torture, and imprisonment awaited those who were caught. They could face imprisonment or even death. The stakes were incredibly high, and failure was not an option. Despite the risks, RAW agents successfully infiltrated the region. They moved stealthily, using coded communication to relay information back to their handlers. They established a network of informants. These informants provided invaluable intelligence that was crucial for the mission's success. They gathered crucial intelligence on Khalistani militants. This intelligence was vital for understanding the militants' plans and thwarting their activities. Section 5. Triumphs and Setbacks, the Realities of Espionage. Operation Rayhan achieved significant successes. RAW's intelligence helped Indian security forces neutralize key Khalistani leaders. It disrupted their networks. However, the operation also faced setbacks. Some RAW agents were compromised. Others disappeared without a trace. Intelligence gathering in a hostile environment was unpredictable and dangerous. RAW learned valuable lessons from these experiences. Section 6. Operation Rayhan's Legacy, Shaping Indo-Pak Relations. Operation Rayhan had a lasting impact on Indo-Pak relations. It exposed Pakistan's support for Khalistani militants. This further strained the already fragile relationship between the two countries. The operation highlighted the challenges of dealing with cross-border terrorism. Operation Rayhan remains a testament to the bravery and dedication of RAW agents. They worked tirelessly to protect India's interests. India faces many security challenges. Terrorism is a serious threat. To protect the nation, India has a premier intelligence agency called the Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW. RAW's job is to gather information from around the world. This information helps India understand threats and keep its people safe. RAW operates secretly, gathering intelligence to protect India's interests. RAW officers work in many countries. They are highly trained and skilled. Their work is very important for India's security. RAW's main focus is to prevent terrorism and protect India from external threats. The agency plays a vital role in keeping the nation safe. The Indian Mujahideen, or IM, was a new kind of enemy. Unlike older groups, they were homegrown. The IM attracted young Indians who felt angry and disillusioned. They used religion to justify violence, targeting innocent civilians. The IM carried out a series of deadly attacks in the 2000s. They bombed crowded places like markets and trains. Their goal was to create terror and disrupt peace in India. The attacks shook the nation and revealed a dangerous internal threat. The IM's tactics were ruthless. They used suicide bombers and improvised explosive devices, or IEDs. Their attacks killed and injured hundreds of people. The group's ability to strike at the heart of Indian cities caused widespread fear and insecurity. RAW realized the gravity of this new threat. The IM's roots within India made them difficult to detect. Their use of technology and online propaganda posed a new challenge for intelligence agencies. RAW knew they had to act swiftly and decisively to counter this growing menace. RAW faced a difficult task. They needed to understand the IM structure, its leaders, and its methods. RAW officers worked tirelessly, gathering information. They infiltrated the IM's networks, often at great personal risk. Human intelligence was crucial. RAW developed assets within the IM. These informants provided valuable information about the group's plans. They helped RAW understand the IM's ideology, recruitment methods, and future targets. Technology played a vital role. RAW intercepted communications, tracked emails, and monitored online activities. They used sophisticated surveillance techniques to track the IM's movements and communications. RAW's operations were highly secretive. They couldn't afford any leaks that could alert the IM. The agency had to be patient and meticulous in gathering evidence and building a case against the terrorists. Section 4. International Linkages. Unraveling the Pakistan Connection. As RAW dug deeper, they uncovered a disturbing truth. The IM was not working alone. They had links to Pakistan-based terrorist groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba. These groups provided training, funding, and logistical support to the IM. The Pakistan connection added a dangerous dimension to the problem. RAW had to navigate a complex web of international relations. They shared intelligence with foreign agencies to track down IM operatives hiding in Pakistan. RAW's investigations revealed that Pakistan was using the IM as a proxy. Their aim was to destabilize India and create chaos. RAW's findings exposed Pakistan's role in sponsoring terrorism in the region. Exposing Pakistan's support for the IM became a key objective for RAW. They presented evidence of Pakistan's involvement to the international community. This helped build pressure on Pakistan to crack down on terror groups operating from its soil. Section 5. Successes and Challenges. Dismantling Terror Networks. RAW's efforts began to yield results. They arrested key IM operatives, disrupting their networks. They seized weapons caches and explosives, preventing potential attacks. RAW's intelligence helped law enforcement agencies to prosecute and convict IM members. One of RAW's most significant successes was the arrest of Yasin Bhatkal, a top IM leader. This was a major blow to the group, weakening their operations. RAW's relentless pursuit of IM leaders crippled the organization. However, the fight was far from over. The IM's ideology continued to attract recruits. New threats emerged, requiring RAW to adapt its strategies. The agency faced challenges in balancing security measures with civil liberties. Despite these challenges, RAW remained committed to its mission. They continued to develop new techniques and partnerships to counter terrorism. RAW's work highlighted the crucial role of intelligence in safeguarding national security. Section 6. Conclusion. RAW's enduring role in regional security. RAW's operations against the IM were a testament to the agency's capabilities. They showed that India would not tolerate terrorism. RAW's work helped to protect innocent lives and safeguard India's security. The fight against terrorism is a continuous process. RAW continues to play a vital role in countering this threat. The agency remains vigilant, adapting to new challenges and threats. RAW's efforts have made a significant contribution to regional security. Their work has helped to disrupt terrorist networks and prevent attacks. RAW's dedication and sacrifice are crucial for maintaining peace and stability in South Asia. The agency operates in the shadows, but its impact is undeniable. RAW's work often goes unnoticed, but its successes are vital for India's security. The agency remains committed to protecting the nation from all forms of threats. Guardians of the Republic, RAW and India's security. India faces complex security threats. Terrorism, espionage, and regional instability are constant concerns. Protecting India's interests requires a strong intelligence network. This is where the Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, comes in. RAW is India's external intelligence agency. It operates in the shadows, gathering information and conducting covert operations. RAW's work is vital to national security. They provide early warnings of threats and help neutralize them. RAW's agents are highly trained professionals. They operate in dangerous environments around the world. Their identities are closely guarded secrets. Their work often goes unnoticed, but its impact is significant. The dedication of RAW agents keeps India safe. They are the unseen guardians of the Republic. Surgical strikes, a turning point. 2016 marked a turning point in India's fight against terrorism. In September of that year, militants attacked an Indian army base in Uri, Kashmir. The attack resulted in the deaths of 19 Indian soldiers. India responded with surgical strikes on terror camps across the line of control. These strikes were a demonstration of India's resolve to combat terrorism. They also highlighted the importance of accurate intelligence. The surgical strikes were a success due to RAW's intelligence gathering. RAW provided crucial information on the location of the terror camps. This information allowed India to carry out the strikes with precision. The success of the surgical strikes had far-reaching consequences. They sent a strong message to Pakistan about India's willingness to defend its interests. They also led to a significant increase in RAW's surveillance activities. Eyes in the shadows enhanced surveillance. After the 2016 surgical strikes, RAW significantly increased its surveillance of terror camps. The agency deployed advanced technology and increased its human intelligence network. The goal was to monitor militant activities and prevent future attacks. RAW uses a variety of methods to gather intelligence. This includes satellite imagery, signal intercepts, and human sources. The agency also works closely with other intelligence agencies around the world. One of RAW's primary focuses is monitoring cross-border infiltration. Terrorists frequently attempt to infiltrate India from Pakistan. RAW works to identify and neutralize these threats before they can reach Indian soil. The agency's enhanced surveillance efforts have been successful in disrupting several terror plots. However, the threat of terrorism remains real and constantly evolving. Section 4. Mission Impossible, Inside RAW's Operations. RAW's operations are shrouded in secrecy. The agency rarely discloses details of its missions. However, occasional glimpses into their work reveal the high-stakes world of espionage. One example involves the tracking of a high-value target. RAW operatives spent months infiltrating his network. They used sophisticated surveillance techniques to track his movements. The operation culminated in the target's apprehension. Another mission involved intercepting communications between terrorists. RAW analysts worked tirelessly to decrypt coded messages. This intelligence helped thwart a planned attack on a major Indian city. These examples illustrate the complexity and danger of RAW's work. They also highlight the agency's commitment to protecting India from harm. Every successful mission is a testament to the courage and dedication of RAW agents. Section 5. The Global Chessboard, International Implications. RAW's operations have significant implications for international relations. India's efforts to combat terrorism are intertwined with the global fight against extremism. The agency's work has helped disrupt terror networks operating across South Asia. This has positive repercussions for regional stability. It also contributes to international efforts to counter terrorism. RAW's activities sometimes create tension with other countries. This is particularly true in the case of Pakistan. Pakistan accuses RAW of interfering in its internal affairs. India maintains that its actions are necessary to protect its security. Despite these challenges, RAW continues to play a vital role on the international stage. The agency's work is essential for promoting regional stability and countering global terrorism. Section 6. The Unseen Battlefield, Challenges and the Future. RAW operates in a complex and challenging environment. The agency faces numerous obstacles in its efforts to keep India safe. One of the biggest challenges is the evolving nature of the threat. Terrorist groups are constantly adapting their tactics. This requires RAW to stay one step ahead. Another challenge is the need for secrecy. RAW's operations depend on maintaining a low profile. This can make it difficult to recruit and train agents. It also limits the agency's ability to share information with the public. Despite these challenges, RAW remains a vital pillar of India's security apparatus. The agency's work is essential in today's uncertain world. As India faces new threats, RAW will continue to adapt and evolve. The men and women of RAW serve in silence. They are the unseen guardians of India's security. Their sacrifices ensure the safety and freedom of millions. The summer of 2017 witnessed a high-stakes standoff between India and China. The location was Doklam, a remote plateau at the tri-junction of India, China, and Bhutan. Tensions ignited when Chinese forces began constructing a road towards the disputed Jampheri Ridge. This action was perceived as a direct threat by India. India responded by deploying troops, leading to a tense 73-day military face-off. Both sides mobilized troops, raising fears of a larger conflict. The standoff became a focal point of global attention. The Doklam standoff underscored the importance of intelligence in navigating complex geopolitical situations. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, is India's primary foreign intelligence agency. Established in 1968, RAW operates under the Prime Minister's office. It monitors threats to India's national security from beyond its borders. RAW's operations include human intelligence, signals intelligence, and imagery analysis. During the Doklam standoff, RAW provided crucial intelligence to the Indian government. As tensions simmered in Doklam, RAW's intelligence network went into overdrive. Agents operating in the region worked tirelessly to gather information on Chinese activities. Human assets within the People's Liberation Army, or PLA, provided valuable insights into Chinese troop movements and military plans. SIGINT intercepts of PLA communications offered crucial clues about China's strategic objectives and timelines. Analysts working round the clock meticulously pieced together fragments of information from various sources, gradually painting a clearer picture of China's Doklam playbook. RAW's intelligence assessment revealed that China had underestimated India's resolve to stand firm. Beijing had anticipated a swift and muted response from New Delhi, similar to India's passive stance during previous border incursions. However, India's firm response, backed by the credible threat of military force, took the Chinese by surprise. The intelligence also indicated that China was facing internal pressure to de-escalate the situation. The standoff was beginning to hurt China's international image and risked jeopardizing its Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure project aimed at expanding Chinese influence across Asia. How intelligence shaped India's response. RAW's intelligence was crucial in shaping India's response to the Doklam crisis. It allowed India to anticipate Chinese moves and preempt escalation. Timely detection enabled swift troop deployment, blocking Chinese advances. Intelligence also helped India leverage diplomatic channels effectively. Presenting evidence of Chinese transgressions garnered international support. Section 5. Beyond Doklam. The enduring significance of intelligence. The Doklam standoff served as a stark reminder of the critical importance of intelligence in safeguarding national security. In an increasingly volatile and uncertain world, intelligence agencies like RAW play a vital role in providing policymakers with the information they need to make informed decisions. The lessons learned from Doklam continue to shape India's approach to national security. The government has recognized the need to further strengthen RAW's capabilities, particularly in the areas of human, SIGINT, and cyber intelligence. Investments are being made in recruiting and training a new generation of intelligence professionals equipped to meet the challenges of the 21st century. The Doklam standoff also underscored the importance of international cooperation in intelligence sharing. India has deepened its intelligence cooperation with like-minded countries, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. By sharing intelligence and coordinating responses, these countries aim to deter future aggression and maintain regional stability. Section 6. The Future of Shadows. As India and China continue to modernize their militaries and expand their geopolitical footprints, the intelligence war between the two Asian giants is only likely to intensify. RAW will face new challenges in the years to come as it seeks to penetrate China's increasingly sophisticated intelligence apparatus. The future of intelligence gathering will be shaped by rapid technological advancements. Artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and quantum computing are all poised to revolutionize the way intelligence is collected, analyzed, and utilized. RAW will need to adapt quickly to these evolving technological landscapes to maintain its edge. The Doklam standoff was a defining moment in India's intelligence history. It demonstrated the critical role that RAW plays in safeguarding national security and the high stakes involved in the shadowy world of espionage. As India navigates an increasingly complex and interconnected world, RAW will continue to be its first line of defense, operating silently in the shadows to protect its interests. Guardians of India, RAW, and its mandate. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, is India's external intelligence agency. It was established in 1968. RAW is responsible for gathering foreign intelligence. It also conducts covert operations to protect India's national interests. RAW plays a critical role in safeguarding India's security. It operates in a complex geopolitical environment. The agency faces numerous challenges. These include terrorism, extremism, and regional instability. RAW's primary objective is to provide early warning of threats. It also provides actionable intelligence to Indian policymakers. This intelligence helps India formulate effective foreign and security policies. RAW's work is crucial for maintaining peace and stability in the region. The agency operates under the authority of the Prime Minister's office. It maintains a low profile. RAW's activities are highly classified. The agency's success depends on its ability to gather accurate and timely intelligence. This intelligence is essential for India to counter emerging threats and protect its interests on the global stage. The Dragons reach China's Belt and Road Initiative. The Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, is a massive infrastructure development project. It aims to connect Asia, Europe, and Africa through roads, railways, and ports. Launched in 2013, it could reshape global trade patterns. The BRI has raised concerns about China's growing influence. Despite concerns, many countries have embraced it. They see it as a chance to attract investment and boost growth. Strategic stakes, Chinese investments in South Asia. China's BRI investments in South Asia have significant strategic implications for India. The region is of vital importance to India's security. China's growing presence challenges Indian interests. Hambantota Port's strategic location raises concerns in India. Chinese investments in the Maldives have increased significantly. India is wary of China's growing influence in its neighborhood. Section 4. Eyes on the Ground. RAW's monitoring mechanisms. RAW plays a crucial role in monitoring China's BRI projects in South Asia. The agency uses a variety of methods to gather intelligence on these projects. This includes human intelligence, signals intelligence, and open-source intelligence. Human intelligence involves recruiting and running agents. These agents provide first-hand information on Chinese activities. RAW also intercepts and analyzes electronic communications. This signals intelligence can provide valuable insights into Chinese intentions. Open-source intelligence, such as news reports and academic publications, is also used to track Chinese investments. RAW analyzes this information to assess the strategic implications of BRI projects. RAW's intelligence gathering activities are essential for providing Indian policymakers with an accurate picture of Chinese activities in South Asia. This information helps India to formulate effective counter-strategies to protect its interests. Section 5. Regional Security Implications, a Balancing Act. China's BRI investments in South Asia have significant implications for regional security. They have heightened geopolitical tensions. India is particularly concerned about China's growing presence in its neighborhood. The BRI has the potential to alter the balance of power in the region. It could enhance China's military capabilities. For example, Chinese-built ports could be used for military purposes. This is a major concern for India. India has responded to the BRI by strengthening its own strategic partnerships. It has increased its engagement with countries like Japan, the United States, and Australia. India is also investing in its own infrastructure projects in the region. The BRI has created a complex security environment in South Asia. It has led to a rivalry between India and China. This rivalry has the potential to escalate into conflict. It is therefore in the interests of all countries in the region to manage these tensions. Section 6. The Great Game RAW's role in Indo-China relations. RAW plays a vital role in managing the complex relationship between India and China. The agency's intelligence provides crucial insights into Chinese intentions. This helps India to formulate appropriate responses. RAW's monitoring of the BRI is particularly important. The agency's intelligence helps India to assess the strategic implications of Chinese investments in South Asia. This information is essential for India to protect its interests. RAW's role in Indo-China relations is likely to become even more significant in the future. As China's global power grows, India will need to rely on its intelligence agencies to stay one step ahead. RAW's mission is crucial for India's national security. The agency's work is essential for protecting India's interests in a rapidly changing world. RAW's contributions often go unnoticed. However, the agency plays a vital role in shaping India's destiny. In the heart of South Asia, a silent war is being waged. A war fought not on open battlefields but in the shadows, in hushed whispers and coded messages. This is the world of espionage. Here, two powerful intelligence agencies, India's Research and Analysis Wing, RAW, and Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence, ISI, are locked in a perpetual struggle for dominance. RAW, India's external intelligence agency, born in the aftermath of intelligence failures leading to the 1962 Sino-Indian War, operates with a veil of secrecy. On the other side of the border, Pakistan's ISI, a formidable force with deep roots in the military establishment, plays a similar, yet adversarial role. The stakes are high, the players determined, and the consequences potentially devastating. Nepal and Bangladesh, two small nations nestled in the shadow of giants, find themselves caught in the crosshairs of the RAW-ISI rivalry. Their geopolitical significance cannot be overstated. Nepal, a mountainous buffer state between India and China, holds immense strategic value. The ISI, recognizing Nepal's strategic importance, has long sought to establish a foothold. Bangladesh, sharing a long and porous border with India, presents a different set of challenges. The rise of Islamic extremism in the region, coupled with Bangladesh's economic vulnerability, has created fertile ground for ISI operations. RAW, acutely aware of the ISI's nefarious designs, has been tasked with a critical mission to monitor, disrupt, and neutralize ISI activities in these vulnerable nations. Their success or failure will have profound implications for regional peace and security. The world of espionage is a shadowy one, shrouded in secrecy and cloaked in deception. It is here, in this clandestine realm, that RAW operates, deploying a network of agents, informants, and sophisticated surveillance techniques to keep a watchful eye on ISI activities. RAW's operatives work tirelessly, often undercover, cultivating contacts, gathering information, and building a comprehensive picture of the ISI's movements. One of RAW's primary objectives is to infiltrate ISI networks operating in Nepal and Bangladesh. This is a dangerous game, requiring nerves of steel and an unflinching resolve. RAW agents posing as businessmen, journalists, or even aid workers embed themselves in the local population, slowly gaining the trust of their targets. Their mission is to gather intel, to uncover the ISI's plans, and to neutralize any threats they may pose. Section 4. Whispers in the Wind, Unmasking ISI's Agenda. The ISI's agenda in Nepal and Bangladesh is multifaceted and insidious. They seek to exploit existing tensions, inflame religious and ethnic divides, and undermine India's influence. In Nepal, the ISI has been known to support and arm anti-India insurgent groups, providing them with safe havens, training, and logistical support. They exploit the porous border between Nepal and India to smuggle weapons, counterfeit currency, and narcotics, fueling unrest and undermining the Indian economy. The ISI has been linked to Islamic extremist groups operating in Bangladesh, providing them with funding, training, and logistical support. RAW's intelligence gathering efforts have exposed a number of ISI plots in both Nepal and Bangladesh. However, the threat remains real, and the battle for influence continues unabated. Section 5. A Delicate Dance, RAW's Countermeasures. Countering the ISI's clandestine activities requires a delicate touch. Overt action could spark a diplomatic crisis, further destabilizing the region and playing into the ISI's hands. RAW, therefore, relies on a combination of covert operations, intelligence sharing with friendly nations, and diplomatic pressure to neutralize the ISI threat. One of RAW's key strategies is to cultivate relationships with key political figures, security officials, and influential individuals in Nepal and Bangladesh. These relationships provide RAW with valuable insights into the ISI's activities and allow them to exert pressure on governments to crack down on ISI networks. Public diplomacy also plays a crucial role in RAW's counter-ISI strategy. Section 6. The high stakes of vigilance. The silent struggle between RAW and the ISI in Nepal and Bangladesh is a high-stakes game with far-reaching consequences. The outcome of this shadow war will have a profound impact on the future of South Asia. RAW's vigilance is crucial in preventing these nations from becoming safe havens for terrorists and criminals. By disrupting ISI plots, RAW is not only protecting India's interests but also safeguarding the stability and security of the entire region. The future of peace and stability in South Asia depends on RAW's continued success in this high-stakes game of espionage. Their vigilance is the thin line that separates order from chaos, and their sacrifices often go unnoticed, their victories unsung. Guardians in the Shadows, RAW, and India's security. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, is India's external intelligence agency. Founded in 1968, RAW safeguards India's interests beyond its borders. Its operatives work in secrecy, gathering intel and neutralizing threats. They are the silent guardians, protecting India from unseen dangers. RAW's primary function is intelligence collection. This involves human intelligence, or HUMINT, and technical surveillance. The agency also conducts covert operations when necessary. These operations are authorized by the Prime Minister, and their details remain highly classified. RAW's role is crucial in shaping India's foreign policy. Its intelligence reports provide policymakers with a clear picture of global events. This allows India to make informed decisions on the world stage. RAW's work is often dangerous and always secretive. The agency's successes are rarely publicized, but its failures can have significant consequences. This makes RAW a fascinating and vital part of India's security apparatus. Pulwama's wound, a nation reeling. On February 14, 2019, a suicide bomber attacked a convoy of Indian security forces in Pulwama, Jammu and Kashmir. The attack, orchestrated by the Pakistan-based terrorist group Jaish-e-Mohammed, resulted in the deaths of 40 Indian soldiers. The Pulwama attack sent shockwaves across India. The nation mourned the loss of its brave soldiers. The attack exposed the vulnerability of India's security apparatus. It also highlighted the ongoing threat posed by Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. The Indian government vowed a strong response to the attack. The nation demanded justice for its fallen heroes. The international community condemned the attack and called for restraint. However, the memory of Pulwama fueled a collective desire for action. The attack served as a grim reminder of the human cost of terrorism. It also strengthened India's resolve to fight terrorism in all its forms. The Pulwama attack became a turning point in India's fight against terrorism. Whispers in the dark. RAW's intelligence gathering. In the aftermath of the Pulwama attack, RAW swung into action. The agency's mission was clear: gather intelligence on the perpetrators and prevent future attacks. RAW operatives worked tirelessly, following leads across borders and infiltrating terrorist networks. RAW's intelligence gathering efforts focused on Jaish-e-Mohammed. The agency used HUMINT and TechInt to track down the group's leadership and infrastructure. RAW agents infiltrated Jaish-e-Mohammed's communication networks, intercepting messages and uncovering plans for future attacks. The intelligence gathered by RAW revealed that Jaish-e-Mohammed was planning further attacks on Indian soil. The group was also actively recruiting and training new members. RAW's timely intelligence provided the Indian government with the evidence it needed to take decisive action. The information collected by RAW was crucial in pinning down the location of the Jaish-e-Mohammed training camp in Balakot, Pakistan. This intelligence would prove vital in planning the Indian Air Force's retaliatory strike. Eye for an eye planning the Balakot airstrike. Armed with RAW's intelligence, India began planning a retaliatory strike. The objective was clear: target the Jaish-e-Mohammed training camp in Balakot and neutralize the threat. The Indian Air Force was tasked with carrying out the strike. The planning process was highly secretive and involved close coordination between RAW, the Indian Air Force, and the government. The Indian Air Force selected its most skilled pilots and the most advanced aircraft for the mission. The element of surprise was crucial to the operation's success. The Indian Air Force studied satellite imagery and intelligence reports provided by RAW. They meticulously planned the flight path and the strike package to minimize collateral damage. The target was a large complex, housing hundreds of terrorists. The operation was named Bandar Punch, after a mountain pass near Balakot. Everything was kept under wraps to prevent information leaks. The success of the mission depended on complete secrecy. Guardians of the Republic, the shadowy world of RAW. India, a vibrant democracy with a billion dreams, also faces numerous threats. External forces seek to destabilize the nation. Terrorism casts a long shadow. Protecting India from these dangers is the Research and Analysis Wing, better known as RAW. This intelligence agency operates in the shadows, its agents unknown, its missions top secret. Created in 1968, RAW's primary objective is clear safeguard India's national security. It gathers intelligence, analyzes threats, and conducts covert operations. The agency's reach is global, extending far beyond India's borders. RAW agents work tirelessly to identify and neutralize threats before they reach Indian soil. Their work is often dangerous, always demanding and shrouded in secrecy. The men and women of RAW operate in a world of aliases, disguises, and clandestine meetings. Their identities remain secret, their faces unseen by the public. They are the unsung heroes of India's security apparatus, working tirelessly to protect their nation from the shadows. Their successes are rarely celebrated, their failures rarely acknowledged. But the stakes are incredibly high. The consequences of failure can be catastrophic. The lives of millions rest on the shoulders of these silent warriors. RAW's mission is a testament to the enduring spirit of India, a nation determined to protect its people and preserve its hard-won freedom. In the crosshairs, RAW's focus on Pakistani terror groups. For decades, India has faced the relentless threat of terrorism from Pakistan. Groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed operate with impunity. They launch attacks on Indian soil, targeting civilians and security forces. RAW recognizes the danger posed by these groups. A significant portion of RAW's resources is dedicated to monitoring their activities. Agents infiltrate their networks and work to disrupt their operations. RAW's efforts focus on several key areas. The agency works closely with international partners to share intelligence. Despite challenges, RAW has achieved significant successes in its fight against Pakistani terror groups. A nation under siege. RAW and the 2001 Parliament attack. The date: December 13, 2001. The target: the heart of Indian democracy, the Parliament. 5 heavily armed terrorists stormed the complex, indiscriminately opening fire. The attack sent shockwaves through the nation. 9 people lost their lives, and the world watched as India confronted this act of terror. In the aftermath of the attack, RAW swung into action. The agency launched a full-scale investigation, working tirelessly to identify the perpetrators and their backers. Evidence pointed towards Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, with support from elements within Pakistan's intelligence agencies. The attack was a stark reminder of the clear and present danger posed by these groups. RAW's role went beyond investigation. The agency provided critical intelligence to the Indian government, helping to shape its response to the attack. This included diplomatic efforts to isolate Pakistan internationally and military preparations along the border. The attack marked a turning point in India's fight against terrorism. The 2001 Parliament attack was a defining moment for RAW. The agency faced intense scrutiny and pressure to deliver results. They responded with determination, working tirelessly to bring the perpetrators to justice and prevent future attacks. The attack served as a grim reminder of the ever-present threat to India's security and the crucial role RAW plays in safeguarding the nation. Preventing another Pathankot. RAW's counter-terrorism efforts. The early hours of January 2, 2016 brought another audacious attack. A group of terrorists infiltrated the Pathankot Air Force Station, a heavily guarded facility in Punjab. The attack bore the hallmarks of Jaish-e-Mohammed, once again highlighting the group's ability to strike at the heart of India. RAW's intelligence prior to the attack proved crucial. The agency had intercepted communications indicating a potential attack on a military installation in Pathankot. This intelligence allowed security forces to be on high alert, mitigating the impact of the attack. While the attack resulted in casualties, RAW's timely warnings undoubtedly saved lives. The Pathankot attack underscored the evolving nature of the terrorist threat. Terror groups were adapting their tactics, leveraging technology and exploiting vulnerabilities to carry out sophisticated attacks. RAW recognized the need to evolve as well, to enhance its capabilities and stay ahead of the curve. In the aftermath of Pathankot, RAW intensified its efforts to counter the threat from Pakistan-based terror groups. The agency focused on strengthening its human intelligence network, leveraging technology for surveillance and analysis, and deepening cooperation with international partners. RAW's vigilance and proactive approach remain crucial in safeguarding India's security in an increasingly volatile world. The Kashmir conflict is a complex and long-standing dispute. It has plagued India and Pakistan since their independence in 1947. Both countries claim the region in its entirety. This has led to wars, insurgencies, and a pervasive atmosphere of mistrust. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, India's external intelligence agency, plays a critical role in this geopolitical chess game. Tasked with safeguarding India's interests, RAW operates in the shadows. It gathers intelligence, conducts covert operations, and counters Pakistani propaganda. This propaganda seeks to fuel unrest in the valley. Kashmir, known for its breathtaking beauty, has tragically become a battleground. It faces constant threats from across the border. Militants, fueled by a toxic ideology, infiltrate the region. They aim to disrupt peace and stability. In this volatile environment, RAW stands as India's first line of defense. It works tirelessly to protect the nation from external threats. The agency's role in countering Pakistani propaganda is paramount. It aims to expose the truth and foster stability in the region. Pakistan's propaganda machinery relentlessly discredits India. It aims to internationalize the Kashmir issue. This propaganda takes many forms. It includes spreading disinformation and sponsoring protests. Social media platforms are breeding grounds for propaganda. Pakistan fuels separatist sentiments in Kashmir. They portray India as oppressive to alienate Kashmiris. Twisting narratives incites anger and resentment. Fake accounts spread disinformation, influencing international opinion with false narratives. This propaganda campaign challenges India. It hinders peace and stability efforts. RAW's role in countering this propaganda is crucial. RAW's counter-propaganda efforts extend beyond covert operations. The agency also engages in diplomatic initiatives to expose the truth about Pakistan's role in fueling the Kashmir conflict. This includes providing evidence of Pakistan's support for terrorist groups operating in the region and highlighting human rights violations within Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. RAW works closely with Indian diplomats and international organizations to present a factual account of the situation. They share intelligence, provide briefings, and engage in strategic communication to counter Pakistan's narrative. Furthermore, RAW facilitates visits of foreign delegations and journalists to Kashmir. This allows them to witness the situation firsthand and form their own opinions based on facts. By providing access to credible information, RAW aims to counter the misinformation spread by Pakistan. The agency's diplomatic efforts also focus on building relationships with influential individuals and organizations worldwide. By fostering understanding and cooperation, RAW seeks to create a network of allies who can help counter Pakistan's propaganda and support India's position on Kashmir. Section 4. Behind the Veil, RAW's clandestine operations. While diplomatic efforts play a crucial role, RAW's clandestine operations form the backbone of its counter-propaganda strategy. These covert activities aim to neutralize propaganda networks, expose Pakistani involvement in terrorist activities, and discredit individuals and organizations spreading disinformation. One of RAW's key tactics is to infiltrate Pakistani propaganda networks. By planting assets within these networks, RAW can gather intelligence on their operations, identify key individuals, and disrupt their activities. Another crucial aspect of RAW's clandestine operations is the use of cyber warfare. The agency employs skilled hackers to penetrate Pakistani websites, social media accounts, and communication networks. This allows them to intercept communications, gather evidence of propaganda efforts, and even launch counter-propaganda campaigns. RAW also works to expose Pakistan's support for terrorist groups operating in Kashmir. This includes gathering evidence of financial and logistical support, identifying training camps, and exposing links between Pakistani intelligence agencies and terrorist organizations. Section 5. Triumphs in the Shadows. Key operations and their impact. Since 2016, RAW has conducted several successful operations to counter Pakistani propaganda. One notable operation involved infiltrating a Pakistani propaganda network in the Middle East. RAW agents planted an asset, gaining access to their communication channels. This led to the exposure of several Pakistani agents and hampered their disinformation efforts. RAW's cyber warfare division disrupted a major Pakistani propaganda campaign on social media. By hacking key accounts, RAW exposed identities and dismantled the network. These operations have hampered Pakistan's ability to manipulate narratives on Kashmir. RAW's enduring role in Kashmir. RAW's mission in Kashmir is fraught with challenges, yet the agency has consistently risen to the occasion. Its efforts to counter Pakistani propaganda have been instrumental in safeguarding India's interests. The agency's success lies in its ability to adapt to evolving threats. As Pakistan's tactics become more sophisticated, so do RAW's countermeasures. RAW's investment in technology and human intelligence keeps it ahead. RAW's commitment to countering propaganda is crucial in promoting peace and stability in Kashmir.